Este es Aaron con E de AnetComputers.com. Otro video para ti hoy. Boy, that light bulb is bright as fuck, and I just got distracted. Somebody just walked by, so monitor the situation, see if they're one of these lurkers. Alright, another video. This one is a troubleshooting help video pertaining to a Canon problem. Yeah, I think they're a lurker. Well, it's not a Canon. See, they distracted me now. I can hear somebody outside my hotel door, and they need to leave because I'm recording a YouTube video. It's an Epson WF-2630. I'll just read you the abstraction verbatim. Under preferences, printers and scanners, my Epson WF-2630 says offline. How do I put it back online? That's a very common problem on both Microsoft and Apple operating systems, is the printer will display offline. And you can reboot the computer, you can power cycle the printer, power it off, power it back on, it's still offline. The software gets corrupt or updates. This individual is using a MacBook Pro with Mojave operating system, also known as 10.14. And what happened was they upgraded to a lurker, we got a lurker here right outside my hotel door, man. 10.14.1. So they upgraded their operating system to Macintosh Mojave 10.14.1. And then they had a problem with their scanner. That's very common. Same thing on Microsoft Windows. Or sometimes Macintosh updates will take out a printer or scanner and etc. Alright, so another technician tried to help them. I'm not going to go over that. But basically what they were seeing was when they tried to print, there was a pop-up that was just blank. And it was called location. But so they would try to print and then they'd receive a pop-up, but it was blank. And the only identifying information was location. Okay, let me scroll down to where I helped this individual. So basically it's an easy fix. Well, at least for a technician, but it should be easy. On Macintosh operating system, you have to remove the Epson, what is it, a WF-2630. So you want to remove the Epson software from applications on Macintosh. And if you do not know where to go, my experiences with Mac and crap end users, they are the most ignorant. A lot of them don't even know their Macintosh administrator password, their login password. They do not remember their Apple ID. They do not remember their Apple ID password. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know where applications is at. They don't know how to use Finder. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And Apple operating system to me is very dumbed down. The irony. If you do not know where applications is at, you can use Finder. Finder is, I would say, the Windows File Explorer. It's the Macintosh version of File Explorer. It starts up at boot time, so you log into your Macintosh computer, in this scenario Mojave, and Finder is already running. You can access it on the top menu bar. I think the left, upper left, you'll see Finder on the top menu, or down below on the big taskbar in Macintosh, you'll see a icon, and it's the icon of a face, two faces. It could be a duality, there could be some symbolism to that icon, but let's not digress about that. You know what I'm saying? One half on the left hand side, there's a lurker out here, and I'm recording this video and I'm documenting it, and the condenser mic will pick up noises. There's a lurker outside my hotel room. I keep hearing people walking on the platform, the wood platform. Alright, so there's a blue face on the left hand side and gray face on the right hand side. So two faces. Yes, Americans are two-faced, and that's the Finder icon. You will see it on the bottom taskbar in Macintosh operating system if you do not know where Finder is at. Alright, so there's that bit of information. Then you open up Finder, and it is the Macintosh equivalent of Windows File Explorer. So you look on the left hand side, you're going to see a list of files and folders and networking devices and hardware devices, but we'll just stick to, on the left hand side, look for applications. Click on the applications folder. It depends on the computer original equipment manufacturer. Sometimes they have an uninstaller, but look for the Epson folder. Go into the Epson folder under applications, and then either drag the entire Epson folder to the trash can. That's one way you can remove software on a Macintosh, or look for the uninstaller. Double click the uninstaller, run the uninstaller, and it should remove the software. It will also remove it from printers and scanners, but you want to double check. And then here's another tip. On a Macintosh, if you end up dragging the software from applications and that's how you're going to remove the software, you want to empty the trash can. I don't think it always perpetrates this strangeness or bug, but once in a while, if you do not empty the trash can, when you go to reinstall the software or make changes, it flags an error and it prompts you, telling you that the software is still installed. So empty the trash can. Any other tips there? Let me think of any other troubleshooting tips that you might run. Oh, double check. Now, the uninstaller is supposed to remove it from printers or scanners, which I don't think it's a coincidence. On a Macintosh operating system, there is printers and scanners. On Microcrap, Microship, Microslop, Windblow's operating system, there's printers and scanners in Windows 10. Well, over a decade ago now, Microsoft funded Apple. They paid them $100 million in funding. They gave them $100 million to support Apple. So that tells you that there is no competition. Anyways, double check. Just go into printers and scanners, and you can access it through system properties on a Macintosh. And go into, I think you might be able to access. Yeah, you should be able to access it through Finder. Finder is the File Explorer equivalent, but you can actually access, hardware and applications and folders and files and networking and blah 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 on a Macintosh. If not, you can go into system properties on a Macintosh, go into printers and scanners, make sure that the Epson printer has been removed. The WF-2630. Make sure it's not listed. If it's listed, remove it. There will be a plus sign and a minus sign inside printers and scanners. It's pretty self-explanatory. Plus means to add, minus means to subtract. Subtract the printer, click the minus sign, highlight the printer, click the minus sign, and it will remove it. It should remove it. You are done. Now what you want to do to get scanning to work again is you're going to download the software from my direct link. Click on the link in the description box below of this YouTube video, and it's a direct link. And it will take you to the DMG file. It should prompt you to either, on a Mac, it might prompt you to open it, it might not, but it'll start saving. At the very least, it'll start saving. You can double click the .dmg, or you can drag it to applications actually to open it. You know what I'm saying? Or you can double click. Not the corporation. And then you'll reinstall the software. Make sure it shows up in applications. It should ask you how you want to connect your printer. So it'll give you three choices: USB cable, wirelessly, or Ethernet cable, which is pretty standard. Most of the original equipment manufacturers, printers, Canon, Lexmark, Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Oki Data, they're pretty much always ask you, do not, here's another tip, even on a Macintosh, do not connect your printer to your Macintosh computer until the software installation prompts you to. Don't hook up a USB cable to the printer and then to the Mac. Don't do that. What's going to happen is it's going to try to load a generic default driver, and it's not going to load all the software, and It may work, it may not work. Even if it works, you're not gonna. You go into the properties from the printer, and you're not gonna see most of the. You may not see all the properties, and you need to install the scanning driver, the scanner driver, and the scanning tool. Even on a Macintosh, a lot of the original equipment manufacturers like Epson, they have a scanning tool. It's free, and you may want to use that tool, and it's designed for that printer model and printer brand. Anything else? Let me see. They did have a little bit of trouble. It could be because they're idiots, morons, imbeciles, stupid, mental midgets, or maybe they're naive or ignorant. I don't fucking know. A lot of it's not unusual for me to run into a Macintosh end user that has all kinds of problems. Some of them spend hours on something that only takes a minute, and I'm not making that shit up. Especially software installs. You have to have your Apple Macintosh administrator password. On a Macintosh, anytime you make changes, you have to type in your password. So you're going to have to know it. If you don't know it, you're fucked. You won't be able to. You might be able to remove the printer, but you're not going to be able to reinstall the software. Anything else? So I think they had problems. Yeah, they kept giving me the screenshot. I don't fucking care about screenshots. I'm a computer technician. A lot of times I don't look at screenshots of errors because I just unless it's a specific error code. But a lot of these end users, they just can't wait to give you you just like and they ignore my instructions. They ignore my instructions, but they can't wait to fucking upload a screen capture image of some fucking blank screen that says default. Well, that doesn't fucking that information is like almost useless. All right. Okay, they said they were going to go to the install link, but I typed the instructions again because I don't know, or I don't think they removed the software. That's part of the problem. Even on Macintosh, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's cause and effect. It's logical. You just use logic. Oh, they upgraded the operating system to Macintosh Mojave 10.14. All of a sudden, they can't fucking scan. Well, that's why you have to remove the software because it got corrupt, and then reinstall it. All right, so they had problems. They were fucking around with their firewall, fucking around with their router. They said they were going to contact Epson, but I still received compensation. So they had to give me a report. They had to, on this fucking third-party website, I don't just get paid. They have to submit an evaluation. I have to get evaluated. I have to receive a certain score. If it's too low, I get fucked and I don't get paid. But this individual evaluated me sufficiently enough so that I get fucking compensated. So that tells me that my instructions must have fixed their problem. Otherwise, they would have yelled at me or threatened to sue me or threatened to kill me or, screamed for a refund, demanded a refund, and, blah, Aaron, you motherfucker, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, these motherfuckers on this website, they're prototypical Americans. They're fucking very emotional, they're violent savages, they're dangerous, and they're capitalistic whores, and very few of them use any logic because they're just overrun by their goddamn emotions. Alright. I think that's it, man. I think I'm going to run. I don't think I have any overtime. I just don't feel like spewing off about the same bullshit. I'm counting the days that I'm out of this dump shithole hotel, and next week I'm going to be at a different hotel somewhere, and I can't wait. Anything else? Let me think. That's pretty standard. Now, I'm going through my backlog, so a lot of these videos are going to become redundant. And I may write a blog post, I may not, but I will at least include a direct link to the software for the Epson 20W. I need to run because if I start having problems talking, it's pointless. WF-2630. Adios.